Welcome to the chat show presented by Weaving Stories. We are yet back with another interesting episode, and it is my pleasure to welcome my guest speaker, Mr. Sujit Sehgal. Mr. Sehgal has been a banker for most of his life, but he's a very, very interesting personality. And he's just launched his first book, which is called A Wall Street View of Rural India. It's a banker's diary of a decade of road trips. Welcome, Mr. Sehgal. Welcome to the show. Are you there?
Yeah, hi. I'm here. Hear you very well
Okay.
now.
Okay. So welcome to the show, and
Thank you very much.
I would like to ask you how a banker turned an author. I know that you're very fond of writing, but tell us, how did you think about this book and how you thought of turning into an author?
Sure. See, basically, all through my career, which is now almost close to 30 years, I have been writing as part of my profession. I was a research analyst for half of my career with various global banks, and I used to write research reports on various sectors, macro, economics, strategy, etc. So, writing has always been in my blood. And around 10 years ago, I started doing these very deep rural trips along with clients from all over the world. And as those trips unraveled, I observed so many layers of rural life. I thought it would be a shame to just leave it as a coffee table conversation. And I thought it deserved to be put out there and shared widely. And that is why the thought of this book was born somewhere in 2016, 2017.
Okay. So for 10 years, you kept touring the country, the rural India. So is there any favorite region of yours now? And any interesting episode which you experienced anywhere which you would like to share with our viewers?
Yeah, sure. So for the book, I did trips over a decade and I covered almost 10 states in India. Starting from, UP, Haryana, even Himachal, Jammu and Kashmir, as well as Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, all the way to the south in Madhya Pradesh as well. I only missed out the northeast part of the country. Otherwise, pretty much I covered the entire country. And therefore, yeah, there are many, many stories. That's why the whole book is about those stories. But if I had to pick one, there was an interesting episode in Madhya Pradesh when we were going into a small village and we were looking at these new financial inclusion banking correspondent outlets, and they were demonstrating to us how financial inclusion is working in the villages. And we were standing in this small little office, and there were two girls standing in front of us. They were maybe 12, 13, 14 years old. And we asked them, what are you doing here? He said, oh, we have come to open an account. I said, what are you going to do? Where have you got the money from? He said, yeah, mother has been giving us pocket money for the last few months. And we have been saving that pocket money so that we could come one day and open our own bank accounts. So I thought that was very, very endearing, very touching. And it really showed how awareness on financial services and banking had really reached the grassroots.
Okay. So, when you write, what what disturbs you the most and how you overcome it? I'm interested in knowing more of you as an author. So, because I am an author myself, so I want to know
Right.
what disturbs you the most and how you get back to writing.
I think as an author, what really is always on your mind and what you're focusing on is that you want your message to get through. And you always want to be careful because you got so many thoughts in your mind. There's so many things that you want to express, but it's only that much that can get through to the reader or to the audience. So how to make your point in a simple way, in a story like way, which reaches the audience and appropriately has the right impact. I think that is always what troubles me and is always on top of my mind. The language I use, how less complex, how simple I make it, how easy a read I make it. I think that is always very important.
I can very well relate to you because when I write a feature of 3,000 words, I get the mail back from the editor saying, please reduce it to 1,500. And then I don't know from where to cut how to compress it. It's very, very tough because every word is so close to the heart of the writer. So I know what you mean.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So
Yes.
tell me, okay, what's your tagline as a banker and as an author? What is your favorite tagline?
I always like to say I'm a banker by day, and I'm an author by night, and I'm a poet after midnight.
Okay.
So that's what I like to say. So I do these three things, and I find time for my poetry only after midnight. Although my
Yeah.
wife doesn't like that too much, but that's what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. But I know that you've been writing poetry since the age of 13. And Urdu poetry
Right.
is something which you're very passionate about. Would you like to say a few of your favorite lines, just maybe two, which may you have penned down there, your compositions?
Yeah, zarur, why not? So I'll
जी,
just recite one or two couplets.
याद
कि
उर्दू में.
कल थैंक यू कल तक जो कुछ न था कल तक जो कुछ न था मेरा ईमान हो गया कल तक जो कुछ न था मेरा ईमान हो गया एक आम आदमी से मैं इंसान हो गया.
How wonderful. How wonderful. Would you like to say this in English for our all viewers? I have understood, but I want you to explain.
No, sure, sure. So actually, it's very interesting that कल तक जो कुछ न था मेरा ईमान हो गया. Somebody who didn't mean anything for me so far suddenly has become my entire life, my entire ethos, my entire psyche now is revolving around this person. And then I say that एक आम आदमी से मैं इंसान हो गया. People will think that आदमी और इंसान में क्या फर्क है? There is no difference between a आदमी and an इंसान, but बहुत फर्क है इन दोनों लफ्जों में. आदमी आता है लफ्ज से दम. दम का मतलब होता है ब्रीथ करना. Anybody who breathes is an आदमी. और इंसान आता है लफ्ज से उन्स का मतलब होता है मोहब्बत. So a person who knows how to love, to give love and share love becomes an इंसान. तो एक आम आदमी से मैं इंसान हो गया.
And have you thought about your second book?
Yes, coincidentally, I mean that you mentioned now, I'm already in the process. I was telling Hita as well. I'm already in the process of starting to write the second book, and the proposals are lying with a few publishers, and it's basically a follow-on to my first book, and the last section of my book, which was about the future of farming, how demographics are changing, and how technology is coming into farming. So the second book is going to be about that.
Okay, but you write such beautiful Urdu poetry. Are you not thinking of coming up with your own book, which with lines written by you, with your compositions, Urdu couplets?
No, definitely. So my first book of my poetry, वो शाया होने वाली है बहुत जल्दी. उसका नाम है
Okay,
सफर, and
okay.
that will be hopefully be out in the next 6 months as well. So I will be working parallelly on two of them, my Urdu poetry book and the sequel to my rural book.
How wonderful. I'm looking forward to it because the lines which you recited, they're so beautiful and they have such a wonderful meaning. So what would you like to give as a parting shot to all the youngsters who are going to be writers and authors?
No, I think the key is to dream and dream big and never think that it is late, because it's never too late to start new things and pursue old interests. I think it's more important. Rather than starting new things, pursuing old interests, it's never too late. And you just have to. And people always ask me, Sujit, where do you find the time to do all these things? You're writing a book, you're writing poetry, etc., etc. I think it's all in the mind, and you just have to sit down and start doing it. We all have time, we all have weekends, we can all do it. So I think that's the way to go for it. And I think I'll just recite one little couplet here, which is
Sure.
for the times that we are in right now. It basically says, वक्त कब किसके लिए या रुकने वाला है बता, वक्त किस लिए या रुकने वाला है बता, काम उसका बस है चलना, चलने वाला है सदा. So you have to catch the time and you have to make it work for yourself rather than letting
Yes.
it pass by.
True. So if you have ideas, don't let them go waste. Be like Mr. Sehgal, dream big,
Exactly.
have your ideas, pen them down, and come out with your book. You can be a banker or a financial wizard, but you can be yourself and be a wonderful writer by the night. So dream big, dream ideas, and put them down. So on that beautiful note, I want to thank Mr. Sehgal for being on the show. And it was really so wonderful to hear about his composition and those beautiful lines. Thank you so much. Till we meet again with another interesting episode. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much. Best wishes. Cheers.
Cheers.